Hi everyone, Michael Castellano here. Welcome to another Facebook Live. And today I have a very, very special guest. His name is Gino Panettone, and he's Samantha's grandpa. And today we're going to learn about life from his 84 years of experience.
Right, complete circle.
Complete circle, everything that he has to share with the world from his 84 years.
We haven't got enough time for that.
Well, we're gonna get to a lot of it. So let's start off easy. Where were you born, and what year, and what was it like growing up?
1933, April 27th in San Jose, California, the O'Connor Hospital, and been a native here ever since. One of the few. And that's about it. What's the next question?
What do you remember in your childhood? What was it like as a young boy in the United States in California?
Well, the silliest things I remember is when I'm really aging myself, that when an airplane flew by, we all ran by outside the house to look at it.
A commercial airplane?
No. Piper Cub.
Piper Cub.
Yeah, right. And nobody had a TV. Then once somebody got the TV, we go watch it every Sunday, Milton Berle. So I'm really aging myself, and I've seen a lot of things change. All of San Jose was all blossoms, and there was 50,000 people in 1950. And
did your household get a television? Do you remember what that was like and when?
When I was about 18 years old.
Was it in color?
No, of course not. It was Packard Bell. It was black and white. And that's all I had right at that time. And when they first came out with color TV, they had a peacock for an emblem with all the different colors, and we really were amazed by that. Yeah, so
that was the latest, greatest technology of the time, huh?
Absolutely.
That was bleeding edge.
That's it. As a matter of fact, kids that have a radio, they would make radios with crystal set. Very few people will know what that is, but they made it from just wire crystal set, and they would get radio stations. Nobody had a radio in the house. So, I was at the Gettysburg Address, and
You're not that old.
I know.
There might be some people watching who don't know that you were kidding. But so let's move on a little bit.
Okay.
What did you do as a young man?
Well, I did what everybody does. I played baseball, football, and I went to Bellarmine High School, college prep, and then I was going to go to college, and then the Korean War started, the conflict. Here we are, 2017, and we're still going to go to war with them. Some of my best friends died over in Korea, 19 years old. From that day on, I really grew up.
Did you go to?
No, I did not.
But you were drafted.
I was drafted, and the war ended in when I was in training, and I did get a mortar during training and exploded and took my hearing away, 90% of it. So I've been to fight that all my life. So then that was my college career, the Army, and when I got out I was 23, 24. So the only thing left for me was business, so I went into the grocery business. And my father-in-law, my dad died real young, so I said that's not going to happen to me. So I worked real hard, me and my wife Barbara, and we call it quits at 55 years old with all the money I needed, not all the money I wanted. And
how did you said Barbara? Now that's your wife. How did you two meet?
Beautiful wife. We were childhood sweethearts, and we were married 60 years. Then somebody took her. She got cancer, and that was the end of it.
Well, how did you meet? How did you two meet one another?
My father had a ranch, and dad had a ranch right next door. Her father was in the orchard business. My dad was in the orchard business, and he was in the restaurant business. It's a world-famous restaurant called Bimbo's. And he died at 50 years old, and Barbara was only 16, my wife. So
you two were children of farmers,
right.
And adjacent.
Our folks both come from the same place in Italy. We're all immigrants, legal, and that's it. And she was a beautiful girl. I had to fight off a lot of competitors to get her, but I finally did get her.
Do you remember your first date? Do you remember taking her out when you two were just getting to know one another?
No, because we were intermixed. Her ranch was right next to my ranch, my dad's ranch, and we just, I guess, we would go over each other's houses all the time, so I guess there was no first date.
Okay, but when you met her, did you have an idea that was the girl?
My dad said, "You marry that lady. She's in the same part of Italy and Italian, just like you, and she's a good girl." But I said, "Dad, I want to test the feel." He said, "No, you tested no feel. You know no tested the feel. You take of her." That's just the way he said it. Yeah, broken Italian. So I always have her in mind. Then she dumped me, believe it or not. And
does Samantha know about this?
No. Well, she dumped me first. She said, everybody's telling me that I should date other people. I said, go ahead, So I had a couple lined up. In 3 days, she called me. I want it to be understood. She called me and she said, no, I made a mistake. I really want to be with you the rest of my life. And that was it. That sounds like a storybook guy.
That's a good story. So she knew. She knew after.
Yeah, right. I wasn't the prettiest guy in the block, but I was the nicest guy in the block. She knew I had the best heart. Then she found out after I married her that she's a kept woman ever since.
So there's a lot of people out there, and they're in relationships, and they're young, and they're trying to figure out, should I get married? Is this the person for me? So being someone who had a successful marriage for so long, what do you look for? What do you tell the people out there to look for? What are the most important things for a successful marriage?
I think 50% is luck, but she had all the qualities I had, and her folks had all the qualities I had. And that was it. We all spoke Italian fluently, and just a click, And but you're forgetting, leaving one thing out. She's really beautiful. Matter of fact, they used to call her the actress Gina Lollobrigida. She was so pretty. So you just look at her picture, and that's what my wife used to look like. That's where Samantha's looks come from too. If anybody thinks Samantha's good looking or not.
Well, is anybody commenting yet? No comments. Okay. Well, we'll keep going. So
I went in the restaurant business, and my wife helped me work. We worked really hard. She really helped me out, and that helped me buy real estate and stores. I made a few liquor stores, and she is the key to my situation.
So you got into business in what year?
I was 23, 1957.
And what was business in America like in 1957? What do you remember about
that? Everybody are family owned. Grocery stores, liquor stores, gardeners. In other words, the meat shops. Everybody can go in business in those days. Well, then the big retailers came in, and they're gone. What's good about those days, anybody can go. A guy go in the hardware business, a guy go in the grocery business, one guy go, and they made money like that. They didn't have to work for somebody. Now it's just the opposite, 100% turnaround. Where the kids either got to go to college, work for a big company, and that's it.
Was it difficult starting a company and building it from scratch?
Let's put it this way here. It was a 99% failure rate. And the only guys that made it, the guys that didn't want to go water skiing or gambling, worked 7 days, worked all the holidays. Here's the secret. I did things that other people don't want to do. And my wife too. And that was it. That was my intention. It was working hard and young and taking it easy and it come true.
So work ethic.
Yeah, work ethic, right. And no bad habits.
No bad habits and work ethic.
Right.
And that was the formula.
That is exactly right. And especially in this valley and neighborhood was you definitely had to buy real estate. real estate with the shortcut. Because from the day I was born, I'll tell you, my father paid $9,000 for 30 acres of cherries. You know, that same property right now is worth $150 million. $5 million an acre in San Jose. So
You think it'll
at
keep?
every stage it went up.
You think it'll keep going like that, or do you think something fundamentally has
Sure.
changed?
Yeah, it just inflation keeps going up because people always ask for more money to work, and it's I see in Italy the lira was worth $1. To my uncle 1,000 lira, 10,000 cigarette with. It's just the way it is, you know. The carpenters want more money. The land is, you know, Will Rogers said, didn't you?
No. What do you say?
He said, buy land because God's not making any more.
Right.
So that's the theory I went by.
Well, you
I never went overboard. For years, I had one grocery store I had to close up, but then I bought another one right after, and it was really good. So you know, we're a different mentality. That Italian mentality: go in business, work for yourself.
You know, it's really hard these days in America. Millennials buying property, home ownership. You know, it's the lowest it's been in a very, very, very long time. What's your thought? I mean, do you think that young guys have it a little tougher now? Do you think the opportunity is the exact same? I think I read a statistic that home ownership for millennials is at 3%.
Well, when you say home ownership, that covers a lot of ground. Like Elko, Nevada, to San Jose, California, it's two different opposites. Anybody can own a home in Elko, so it's the same thing. It just depends where you live, and you know. Let's put it this way here: if I had to start all over, I'd open a sandwich shop and make money at it.
Sandwich shop?
Yeah.
Why a sandwich shop?
Well, because that's just a figure of speech. In other words, I know my personality. In other words, if there's a deli that's making sandwiches and they put 6 ounces of meat, I'd open one across the street and put 8 ounces of meat, and everybody would come to me.
Like a Quiznos versus a Togos. I mean, they're kind of the same,
right,
but
right.
One toasts their bread.
I would be talking about everything: restaurants, anything, whatever I would do. I would double whatever my competitor is, because I'm a businessman. You know, that's then there's the theory too. When you're in business, you trust 2 people in your life only. You don't trust anybody. 2 people, and I always tell only 2 people I trust in my life is my mother and my father, and they're both dead. So that's my theory. In my business, all the business, I hate to say this on tape, but everybody steals. Whether they take it for granted or they put more hours in, or they, whether it's a cook, a butcher, or a customer. And if you can open a business, you just don't trust anybody and keep everybody, and you're there every day. You're between the customer and the plate.
I think a lot of people learn that eventually the hard way, and would you
go broke? That's the hard way.
Well, because they don't know. They don't know that's a reality to life yet until they have some type of experience.
Here's what I heard one time: to have a good business, the owner has to always be in the shade.
What do you mean by the shade?
Well, here's your business. It throws the shade out. You're right there next to it. You know, you got your eyes on everything. Yeah. I'm saddened by human. Well, I've been in business for a long time, in different business, and I just about caught everybody taking something, but they would justify it. You know, the secret of going in business for yourself now is don't trust anybody. Do it all yourself.
Or maybe verify. Keep a watchful eye over things.
The casino's a good example. There's a guy who watches the dealer, and the guy that's watching the dealer, and everybody's right down the line, and all the way to the owner. And the IRS watches him. What's up?
So you mentioned human nature. In 84 years of life, what have you learned about human nature? What drives people? How do you understand people? How do you work well with people?
First thing I noticed that There'll always be wars. The saddest thing I learned about life is that the bigger the family, the bigger the animosity. They just can't get along. So if two brothers can't get along and two sisters can't get along, that's why there's wars in the world. And
You think we'll always have war?
absolutely, it's the Darwin theory, survival of the fittest. And you can look at Germany, Rome. When they're at their peak, they fell down. But it's a normal thing. Otherwise, they'd be overpopulated. The Civil War killed 500,000 people. You know why? Because they never took prisoners. They didn't have the food to feed them, so they killed them. So now America would have at least 10 million more people here if the 500,000 people didn't die. You asked me what I learned. That's my observation.
Some people think that because now that we have the internet, because people can translate language and talk over cultural divides, that maybe somehow that has created an environment that is really different, and that maybe because of that we won't see another large-scale world war.
I'm glad you asked that. With all the stuff we have right now, we have about 5 wars going on right now. The Middle East is impossible. The only thing they understand is dictatorship. And so there'll always be wars. But you got to remember, it's human nature. The Black Plague took out 80 million people. Just think how overpopulated we'd be if it didn't happen. It's Darwin's theory. Just think about Darwin. If brothers don't get along, how the hell could... I always thought that if everybody spoke the same language and everybody had the same religion, that there's a chance for no wars. But that'll never happen.
What do you think about this idea of globalization, that it's so easy now to fly to a different country, it's so easy to talk to someone in a different country, we're getting a lot of our goods from China. Do you have a sense that the world is more interconnected now than it was when you were growing up in the...
Absolutely.
Is that a good thing?
100%.
Is that a good thing for
mankind? No, that's just evolution. Businesses and everything else. But it still will not stop wars. It's just always be wars. You can look at it right now. We're up to date now with all this equipment we have here, right? How many wars could you name right now? Korea, Libya, the Russians going into Crimea, Chechnya, so you name them. And actually America right now is the Roman Empire, and it will fail, just like everybody else did. In China it failed. They had dynasties there. It's evolution. That's normal.
What do you think? What are your predictions? Do you think that mankind will eventually become interplanetary? Do you think we'll cross space the same way we crossed oceans?
Yes, but I don't know if we will live that long because of all these bombs. But let me tell you this: death of the Earth is 100%. I'll explain it to you. I can prove it to you that the sun is a star and it's dying. It's a middle age right now. So when the sun dies, either suck us up in the black hole. This is 100% now. Remember this, what I'm saying. It's 100% is going to happen. Because we're in a Goldilocks zone right now. And the sun's going to burn out. As soon as the sun burns out, we'll become a solid rock. Or it'll lose its gravity hold on us, and we'll just flip off in space. And we'll all die instantly. So asteroids already hit the Earth at least 2 times that we know of and killed all life. It will happen again. That's the future I'm giving you.
I think guys like Elon Musk think that we will have already either A, moved to different planets by then, or B, developed some type of technology where that's not a big deal. Do you think he's right?
Well, the thing you're leaving out is whether humanity will last long enough to do that.
What are the risks?
I'd say 90% they'll kill each other before they can get out of here.
With nukes or...
Pardon?
War, nukes, that's why they'll kill each other?
Yeah. Like that Korean guy wants to throw... he's building a ballistic missile to hit America.
What do you think about his haircut?
We used to call that piss pot haircut, where they get we all had piss pots under our beds when we were kids. Right?
The bowl.
You've heard of that.
Bowl
They
cut.
put the bowl on there, and they would cut the guy's hair like that.
I've heard of the
Do you-
bowl cut.
Yeah, but
The same
you want to hear things that come from the old guys, right? We have to call them, we tell a kid, you got a piss pot haircut. In other words, what it'd be doing, the mother would cut them all around. It'd be just real perfectly round.
Yeah.
Then we'd act like I put a piss pot in it. Because we all had piss pots underneath the bed. I wanted everybody to know that. We didn't go to the bathroom at night. There was a thing we take out, we pee in it and put it back under the bed. Then in the morning we'd empty it. I'm really aging myself now.
Huh.
You think we have furnaces and all that stuff? Hell no.
What do you when you look at the computer and you look at the internet, do you feel comfortable
No.
with it? Do you feel
I did try the computer. Then I had to call my kid over there all the time to get me out of trouble and everything. Then at my age, I want to go down the tubes without even have to learn a computer. It's just beyond my scope. But there's really nothing on that computer that I want to find. Do you believe that? You try to ask me one question that I would need a computer for.
what about
Bank balance? Call the bank. What else?
what about finding a girlfriend online? Like
I know you find something to catch me. Well, everybody tells me that I talk to that they put their high school picture in there. Then when you see them, they're about 35, 40. So that's pretty put a damn spot on that. And that's a possibility, but I'm just about maybe 5 years past that now.
I think I would just say that while you do have some of that, I would say that would probably only represent at best 10% of the people you connect with. I'd say 90% would be a real picture and within 10% accuracy of who they are, when they were born, and
Oh, I think that's a good idea. My son met a girl that way, and very good girl. But see, I'm past that stage, if you get them 10 years younger, they want to go to rock concerts. You get them my age, they want to go on cruises. And I've done all that. So you never know what's going to come out. You got to be in my shoes to understand that. You got to be 84. So some guy gave me advice. He said, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Some lady's going to come in there and it's going to work out. If not, I die with my love of my heart.
well, you don't know. Maybe from this Facebook Live, maybe somebody out there shares it with their mother or someone, and they say, "Hey, look at this handsome guy drinking a beer and talking about life at 84,
Sitting at the Ritz.
sitting at the Ritz." Here's something. You're a pretty.
Oh, they can, how would they get a hold of me? They would call you? Or
Oh yeah, they're gonna
You be
they're
my
gonna
broker.
they're gonna post right here on this comment. Gino, call me. Here's
They gotta be
my
from this area. Yeah, right.
from the San Jose area.
Yeah, I speak fluent Italian. Financially secure.
You remember in the 80s they
I
used.
don't have no gray hair and I don't dye it because that's the first thing they're gonna ask me.
You remember in the 80s, I forget the decade, but remember the game show and the guys would come on and the woman would see who she wants.
They call it the dating game.
The dating game.
Yeah.
This is like an updated version of the dating game a little bit.
Yeah, but I think that they were a little younger than the dating game. They were like between 20 and
This
30.
is the dating game 80-year-old version.
What was that?
This is the dating game for 80 and up. Or what are you looking for? Like
Well,
60s, 70s?
no.
22?
My age. Like I said, the younger ones want to go to rock and roll concerts, and the younger ones want to go on cruises because their husband never took them. I've been there. I don't want to see another steeple. I never want to see another castle. I never want to see a river on the Rhine. I'm a homebody now, I want to be closest to my nearest doctor.
So you're 84. You're very sharp. You're active. You're with it. I think that is more than a lot of people can say.
Absolutely.
At 84. So what's the tricks, the tips? How do you stay young, healthy, sharp?
90% is luck. The other thing you can't say on camera, and
Samantha just whispered that you do crossword puzzles every morning.
right, every morning. But that had nothing to do with my brain. Brain is all luck, because I know friends of mine had dementia at 50 years old. They did everything I did. It's hereditary, really.
Maybe the folks with, maybe not. I mean, you had an interesting philosophy. You never stressed too much.
No.
In your 50s and your 60s. I mean, you retired when? How old were you?
55.
So maybe the low stress could have been part of your success.
Absolutely, but I had to plan that. I did what's normal. I just knew how much stock to have, how much property to have, and so when I went to bed every night, I slept real well. But the bottom fell out. My wife died. I really, I'd like to meet somebody like her. They're out there. I know that.
What do you remember most about your wife who passed?
I'm saying we can go all day long. She was beautiful. She was a kept woman. She's neat. I was the alpha male. She said yes all the time, even though she did what she wanted.
She made you think that you were in charge, maybe.
Yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she all con they con artists. But she knew how to do that. I tell her something. I said, I'd like to, show me. You can save some money once in a while. And she says, she said okay, but that was just went in there on the other. She never had her hair done. Always done by a beautician. Yeah, I spoiled her. I loved her that much, That's why we were married so many years. So, I don't expect another woman like that. Maybe everybody's telling me that's why I'm not finding anybody, because I'm trying to find somebody like my previous wife. But that's not true, I belong to Widows and Widowers. Does anybody want to get in contact with me? That organization, Los Altos.
As now in this stage of life, what do you worry about? What are your concerns?
Real simple. Falling down home alone. Being home alone. That's all. Concerned. I've got other concerns.
Are you concerned for?
I don't worry about wars. I don't worry about global climate. None of that stuff. Because that's came and went 100 times already. We had the ice age was all the way to San Francisco, and it's all gone now. That's climate change. That's just part of the cycle, because every so many thousands of years the Earth wobbles a little bit, and that'll change your climate. Huh?
And you're not worried about nuclear war?
Boy, the ladies I'm trying to get.
All right. Well, then let's.
Okay. What else? What else could you ask me? That's about it.
Let's talk about this. So you've had children, and
Different.
what as a father and now a grandfather, what do you have learned about kids and how siblings interact with one another?
Well, the normal. I mean, whatever problem they have among each other and all that. What I did tell them, the only thing they couldn't do is break the law, and they could do anything they want. They can drink when they want, they can gamble, do anything they want, but just don't break the laws. And that's the only thing I held against them. I never laid a hand on any of my kids. It's all psychology, and they all turned out different. And that's true with every family. I don't care what they say. I never forced no religion on them. I never forced no politics on them. I said, do what you want. And actually, yourself, they're all good kids. Yep.
So it's you gave them freedom. You gave them some room to.
I didn't try to brainwash them at all. Because you brainwash a child when he's little, like on religion especially. I got to put that in there, because only 10% can completely absolve themselves of religion. So I didn't want to do that to my children. Then I had some bad experience with the Catholic Church, But when I die, if there is somebody after life, I got a real good lawyer, and that I'm gonna take him with me.
We'll end on that.
Yeah, that sounds good.
That was a lot of fun. We learned about life through your eyes.
Yeah, right.
Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us.
Tell everybody one thing: no matter what, this Earth will not be here someday. The proof is in the pudding. The sun will burn out. There are a lot of dead stars up in the universe, and there's baby stars, dwarf stars, and the sun is a star. And I believe we got here on a meteorite, and it hit the Earth and created life.
There we go. So if any scientists are out there, that's the big scientific ideas according to Gino P.
Could you shut that off? And I want to see if I can say this.
Okay.